team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Dire team pick.
Okay, you ready?
Radiant team pick.
Enchantress.
All right, and welcome back to some EU qualifiers here for the minor. Only one team through, as well, we got some good teams ready for you, and I've got a good co-caster ready for you. Neff is joining me here for two BO3s. This first one, Nigma against Aggressive Mode, a rematch of the major group stage. So we'll see what happens this time around as we get into the draft.
It's a pleasure to be joining you today. I thought that I was doing China. The scheduling would not have made sense for that, so it's a pleasure to be doing these North American... oh god. Sorry, everyone's still in the days of doing the South American qualifiers. It's a pleasure to be doing these European qualifiers. We got two awesome teams, Nigma and Aggressive Mode, and I gotta say, it's great to be watching Lil back in action.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you know, letting his actions speak volumes,
5
hopefully,
seconds
if,
remaining.
you know, if he's doing anything here. They did take second in their group back during the major qualifiers, but they flunked out real hard from the major potential. They made it to the playoffs. They got 2-0'd by OG, 2-0'd by Ninjas in Pajamas, and since then it feels like things have kind of fallen apart because they also got 2-0'd against the Lions. They've lost 6 consecutive games from the start of those playoffs.
So this is a team that started out super strong in the group stage. I don't think... See, this happens sometimes. Teams don't really do their research. These teams come together just for the qualifiers. Everybody's got... they've got Nigma under the microscope. They got OG under the microscope. But they might not necessarily have a team like Aggressive Mode under the microscope. I think that's one of the reasons why they might have done so good in the group stage. Then everyone takes a minute. They say, okay, why these guys dominate? Let's do our research. And then things turn around pretty
10
quickly
seconds
for
remaining.
them. Or they may have had a honeymoon phase that is over once they lost
5 seconds remaining.
their first game inside the group stage. Or sorry, once the group stage ended, they went actual qualifiers for them. We'll see. It could be a lot of
Radiant
things.
team ban. Dire team ban.
Kind of reminds me of Aster. They are a team that usually does really well during the group stage, and then all of a sudden you get to the playoffs and they flunk out real hard.
Yeah, it's usually after the group stage that everyone starts doing their research about these teams. They think, okay, whoever does the best in the group stage is the team that we gotta beat, right?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
So at that point they go, where are these
5
guys wanting to
seconds
farm?
remaining.
How are they wanting to draft their heroes? How can we play around that? And again, like I said, there's the whole honeymoon phase of these teams together for qualifiers, and that's exactly what this Aggressive Mode team is, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I've been a bit of a South American Dota daze still.
Trying to find yourself from, yeah, you know, out of that
Radiant's
region
team
into
ban.
this one, hopping from region to region, doing your thing, and, well, how do you feel here in EU? Are you ready to see Aggressive Mode, open qualifier team, Nigma?
Absolutely. EU was one of the first regions I started casting back a couple years ago with Drag and Drop, so it's nice to be
Ooh,
here
actually,
again.
I take that back. Aggressive Mode, not an open qualifier team. They were the last
10 seconds
correct
remaining.
invite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was OG and OGC. That's right. It's been so long. It's in a daze. You know, like we're both in a daze. We're both saying things that may not be true. Hey, you know what? We're just gonna give you all the facts, apparently.
they were not part of the last major qualifiers.
Radiant
That sounds correct.
team
I
pick.
don't
Dire
remember them
team
there.
pick.
We did have SSA Spartan on Ad Finum and Finum inside the qualifiers this time around.
So is that what gave him the points to get the invite?
I think there was just another open slot now. They might have had some points before, or some of the players had some points, and then carry over.
10 seconds remaining.
Or wait, no, the points don't carry over. The points are hard locked to the teams,
5
correct?
seconds
Maybe
remaining.
Chad will help us out a little bit on this.
I don't know. I've been up for way too long, but I also feel like this is whose line is it anyway, where the points don't matter. And if you understand that reference, you had a great childhood, or you watch whose line is it anyway now, and you have a great time.
Fortunately, I didn't have a great childhood. We're gonna have a great game though. Timbersaw picked up here for Nigma. I really like this hero. Again, it's a very flexible pick. You can play it in the offlane, you can play it in the mid lane. You're not quite giving away what you want to do with your draft at that point. Same goes with Razor. You can play it as a counter to a lot of carry heroes. It can be played offlane, mid, or safe lane. That's something I love about Kuroki's drafting. It's very, very
Radiant
flexible.
team pick.
Templar Assassin.
Hey, also the Clockwork could be a 3 or a 4. You know, if you move that Timbersaw over mid, you could put the Clockwork 3. But I mean, personally, I like the Clockwork in the 4 position more than the 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's just so good at moving from lane to lane. He's got very high movement speed. Battery assault is like a force to be reckoned with. You don't want to be caught out between the lanes.
10
He's
seconds
very good at running people
remaining.
down. You can cause so much chaos with this hero without having a
5
whole lot of
seconds
gold, with like a
remaining.
good positioned hook
Dire
shot and
team
cogs, splitting heroes off from each other in the fights. It's Clockwork gameplay is a lot of fun to watch.
You can even see Clockwork in a 5. Bat Rider getting picked up here. If the Timbersaw is in the offlane, we could see 4 Bat Rider, 5 Clockwork. I like Bat Rider in a 3 position personally. 4, I guess he works out
10 seconds
kind of just
remaining.
as well, but I like how aggressive Bat Rider can be in lane. I think it's
5
one of the
seconds
harder
remaining.
heroes to deal with right now. Sticky Napalm's a pain. And then sometimes I've seen the 2-1 build where you go 2 in the Sticky Napalm, 1 to the Flame Break, skipping Firefly altogether for a little bit.
Yeah, just because of how they changed Flame Break around. I mean, that was a while ago, but to Dota boomers like myself, feels like not so long ago. The DPS change on instead of just on hard damage nuke it used to be. I mean, it makes more sense. It fits in better with the rest of his kit.
Commander.
But I think a lot of the reason why they picked up this Bat Rider, because it's so good against the Templar Assassin, especially in the lane. She deals very, very poorly with Sticky Palm. Because again, one of the things you want to do with her is try to harass the enemy mid laner out with your side blades. A lot harder to do that when your turn rate is so high. You're not going to be able to the angles you want to get near
10
fast.
seconds remaining.
When you're playing so close to the creep wave, you're very susceptible to getting more stacks on you and
5
getting run down
seconds
by
remaining.
the Bat Rider. But aggressive mode,
Dire
counter that
team
out by
back.
picking up a Legion Commander, one of the better heroes at dealing with Bat Rider. Of course, I'm sure you were around for that press the attack and aphotic shield method or meta, where you would just purge off tons and tons of debuff. This hero is basically just a walking purge.
Yeah, and if it came to it, you went with the Oracle if you had to.
Yeah, but again, they're gonna try and lane this Legion Commander wherever the Bat Rider is going. It saves people from the lasso and
5
saves people from
seconds
sticky
remaining.
napalm stacks inside the laning. Nice counter pick
Dire
there by
team
aggressive
pick.
mode. We're seeing the back and forth. You pick the Bat Rider counter to the Templar, the Legion counter to the Bat Rider. We'll see if they follow this trend.
Radiant team pick.
Picking up the Morphling.
Let's
And,
think of that one.
well, if, hypothetically, if they were to go like Razor Safe Lane, Timbersaw to Bat Rider 3, they could put Clockwork 4 and pick up an Ancient Apparition,
Choose your
but
hero.
they're not going to go that way. They're going to pick up a Phantom Lance. They completely disregard what I'm saying, which is a good thing because I'm not someone who you should be taking pick advice from. We on the Phantom Lancer, we hot on the Razor, so it ends up being a 2 Razor and a Timbersaw in the 3. GH on that 4 Clockwork and Croaky on the 5 Bat Rider. I'm not the biggest fan of 5 Bat Rider, but do you think that Bat Rider maybe took a backseat because of the Legion Commander that got picked up?
Yeah. Again, when you're playing the core Bat Rider, if you're playing against somebody who directly counters you, suddenly realize, okay, do I want my mid hero who's going to be either second or third position on the net worth to be countered
10
out,
seconds remaining.
or am I just going to put him in the backseat? That's something I love about Nigma's drafts. They're able to
5
do that.
seconds
They
remaining.
change things up even after all their heroes are picked. Very flexible players, and they have very flexible drafts. So, the Morphling pick very last didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but this is something that Skeeter is fairly well known for, if I'm not mistaken. That and building Radiance.
I'm trying to still figure these teams out. Not the region that I cover most of the time. When I was asked to cover EU, I was a bit shocked. So I'm trying to get my knowledge up on these guys a little bit more. I feel like asking me open-ended questions may not be the go move at the moment. Got two monitors. I'm trying to do the best I can. I know that chat's probably like, this guy's an idiot, but you know, they're not wrong.
It's what I'm supposed to be here for, to fall back on your analyst at times like these. Morphling he's pretty good with. The only thing I don't like about the Morphling pick here is the fact that they don't have any heroes that go that amazing with the Morphling. Like normally you see you either draft with or against like a Sand King or an Earthshaker or a Gyrocopter. We're not seeing that here. Do have a Templar assassin. Get me wrong, being able to take advantage of fraction charge, being able to take static link is pretty good. But you're jumping around so much in these team fights, you don't have time to really think about maintaining that static link. And you're going back and forth while shifting strength and agility.
Disrupted.
Worrying about the static link is the best thing in the
You
world.
can run. You should run.
I did play Morphling against Viking GG, or no, sorry, against OG Seed, and that I think maybe it was the last time that they played the Morphling. It was into a Phantom Lancer as well as a Puck, Bane, Centaur, and Tiny, so a lot of lockdown there. But ended up losing that game in 45 minutes. I'm trying to see if I could take a look at the playoffs. I mean, if they played it in the playoffs, they lost with it because they did get 2-0'd in both series.
Well, they learned from that. They thought, okay, that was way too much
30
lockdown to play this Morphling. This game, not nearly as much. You got Clockwork with the hook shot, maybe some power cogs, and Bat Rider with his lasso, but other than that, not a whole lot of lockdown for him. And that's
See if that gives him more opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of getting through this early game. But of course, if you go ultra late, Phantom Lancer is king. And one of the reasons for that is he's got one of the best level
The
30s in the
battle
game.
begins.
All of his level 25 talents are absolutely amazing, as go for his 20 talents here. Kenzer, well, you go for the... Later you come back to the agility once you're... Very powerful hero, Phantom Lancer.
The thing with Phantom Lancer, it just feels like even if you shut him down and he gets that Diffusal Blade, like there's always a chance. Like he is not someone that you lose faith in until you get that Diffusal Blade and then you get blown out. Because you can have that one good fight and all of a sudden, well, Phantom Lancer had one good fight, he's back in the game, he's got the Diffusal Blade, he's ready to go.
Skylark dropping a little bit of BM. Not that happy that they're power cogs. We actually see the courier go down already.
So, tell me about these matchups too. First of all, you've got the Enchantress as well as the TA over mid trying to harass Weehaw, giving him a hard time. Lil is really up in his face with Impetus level 1. Then you've got Miracle who's shifted over. Oh, Weehaw! I think he's just gonna die for this. Why not?
Lil's got to be careful.
Lil?
Enchantress doesn't have very much armor HP, but you do have a lot of movement speed, especially with these boots.
Ooh, Impetus shots. Yeah, he's gonna get it. Static Link or not. Lil comes in.
Lil letting his gameplay doing the talking.
I feel like for Lil's sake, somebody's got to come up with a voice line that's basically just, my actions spoke louder than my words. So he can spam that literally all the time.
That's a... I love how we played that one. He just harasses them with the level 1 impetus. It is so strong right now. He has to be a little bit careful. He's got a lot of movement speed, but so does Clockwork. Fortunately, Clockwork did not get the boots first. That's a thing that I was seeing a lot of while I was casting the South American games starting to become more popular in these patches is you see these position 4s, even some position 5s, they grab boots as their first item because they want to move between the mid lane and whatever side lanes to harass. And Lil's doing that so well right now.
Yeah, and having that early level 2, he's got enchant available, which is not only great because, one, obviously you can enchant something, but the slow early I feel like is so devastating.
The slow, being able to enchant creeps, Enchantress has an amazing kit. Like, it does so much damage now. Grab like a Harpy Stormcrafter. Unfortunately, you don't get it for a very long time, 30 seconds. You used to have a joke among a couple players that you were playing a worse version of the Harpy Stormcrafter when you were playing Zeus.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Battery
attack.
assault from GH, moving over at Lil, but that's not going to be allowed to happen as the Mud Golem turns around and throws a rock in his face, keeping him away from the Enchantress. But again, now they've got the Enchant, they've got the Golem wailing away at GH. Lil might want to be careful, though. Going into the hands of Kuroki and GH might be too much for him to handle.
Beautiful golem split up into 2 golems after it expires, and of course he just chucks another 2 boulders at him, another magical damage. It's gotta hurt. But yeah, pretty low on.
Probably not fun to deal with.
It just does so much damage, this impetus and enchant combo, but again, he is going through quite a bit of mana doing this. Let's take a look at some of these other lanes. Even though I imagine top is where a lot of this action is going to be.
And it definitely seems like it with Lil not only being around, but 3 heroes there for the side of Nigma. Mid seems to be pretty stable now that Lil's not in the mix, as well as now bottom. What I was trying to ask before, we kind of got caught up in the first blood of Weehaw, was that they swapped Miracle and Mind Control. Mind Control's sitting here bottom, as well as Skitter. He's here bottom. He's in an off lane. So both teams swapping their lanes. Who got the better of the musical lanes that both teams went through?
I think as long as, well, this answered the question for you, considering that Kuroki is teleporting down here to bottom. You don't want this Timbersaw to be harassed out at the first couple of levels. Ooh, speaking of harassed out.
Perfect flame break.
Now my enemy.
Yeah, 3 stacks of sticky napalm. They're chasing Spartan away, and it leaves Skitter to get hit by Whirling Death, but no kill there onto this Disruptor. You gotta still be careful, though. 5 stacks of sticky napalm, now 3 on the Morphling. You let yourself get too many stacks, and all of a sudden, you're just gonna be chased and killed. And they look over, they get the kill on a Spartan. They look over at Skitter, who really needs to be careful, because I just feel like once you get to 3 or 4 mark on sticky napalm stacks, you're putting yourself into a lot of danger.
Yeah, that's when you're stuck in the infinite, so to speak. Your movement speed is slowed down so much that you're just able to get more and more of these stacks off on you.
My thanks.
His SSA Spartan comes back with a full HP and full mana, and a salve for the Morphling. So, Peter, not unhappy about his ally's death.
Mind Control backing off. He's out of mana. Right now, he's actually got 2 Ironwood branches, an Orb of Venom, and a Quelling Blade going into a Soul Ring and holding on to all that gold for right now. Is there any contemplation away from this Soul Ring, or is he just holding the gold to buy out at once?
There might be a little bit of contemplation. I mean, there's not really tons of use of getting the individual items. For maybe the Ring of Health would help a little bit. I mean, Gauntlets will give you a tiny, minuscule amount of magic, HP magic resist. Very minuscule. Might just be thinking about it, but it's a super good item on Timbersaw, so yeah, might as well. The item pays for itself. It's like a poor man's Midas. Timbersaw.
Hopefully it pays off in leaps and bounds. Meanwhile, Lil, a little bit of revenge there for
Radiant's middle
Weehaw.
tower is under attack.
As Lil comes over one too many times, he goes back to the well, and we'll end up dead, going silent for a couple more seconds. And Kuroki, gotta be a little bit careful on his positioning. Glimpse available as GH actually tries to just steamroll towards Spartan. He's gonna come back. They've got kinetic field. Kuroki taking a lot of damage. Skylark doesn't have overwhelming odds for a couple more seconds, and the Fairy Fire is eaten there by Kuroki, but the overwhelming odds will hit a couple of creeps as well as 2 heroes, and they'll get the kill. Now into the duel onto the Phantom Lancer. This is not enough damage. Skylark getting really aggressive with it, and Miracle
He's got 10 wand
turning
charges.
his attention.
He's baiting him out. Oh, okay, never mind. Not enough damage. That looked like it would have been a kill for Skylark right there, but apparently I can't camp damage that fast. I'll work on it.
It's the NA math. We all get the excuse when we live here, and I had no idea how much he was going to hit for, so...
Not so good, educated.
Exactly. If you can do the math on the fly like that, come cast with me.
I'll play Dota if I could do the math on the fly like that. Player instead of caster.
So we're getting to about that 7.5 minute mark. Taking a look over at the TA of Borneo, and he's currently sitting second on the net worth behind his own Morphling of Skitter, but he's doing a good job. And you know, sometimes you'll see a TA who not only, hold on, actually, duel comes out on a Miracle. They get the victory and they get the kill. They only lose Spartan for this. The chase is on to Skylark, but they should be able to get onto the tower. The question is, how far are they willing to go? GH takes a big chunk of damage right there. Now he's under the tower. Throws out the rocket flare and thinks better of it, but here comes Lil. Looks over at Kuroki, throws the enchantment of the Bat Rider. It slows him down, but he's got no help in terms of damage output. And, well, they'll get the kill in a Miracle. They'll lose the Disruptor, and they have a 1,000 worth lead. Back to Borneo, and what I was trying to say is sometimes you'll see TAs kind of get shut out of their lane, but one of the best heroes in recovering from the mid lane.
Yeah. You're in a very bad place if you get to that position where you're very, very far behind. Again, I was watching some games yesterday where it was Death Prophet versus Storm Spirit. Death Prophet, you can lose that lane in CS. You're not in that bad of a fight as long as you watch out for that level 6. Storm Spirit, if he loses that lane super hard though, he's basically kicked out of the game. Top lane. There's still an engagement going on here.
Now Skitter moving forward after they get the kill on the Spartan. Mind Control gets credit for that one. Waveform forward. Skitter keeping up as he's morphed into the Timbersaw, but he won't be able to do the damage. Meanwhile, now Lil dies over mid. Weehaw gets double revenge out on him.
Deja vu right now, B-Cop. I feel like we've been in this place before.
I don't know if I have, but again, my memory is a little foggy right now. I haven't slept in a while, probably over 24 hours. I made the sacrifice to cover Chinese Dota. I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm not happy with the result, but I was happy to make that sacrifice. I don't know where I am. Deja vu? Never heard of it.
That second time Enchanters had died over there in the mid lane. Sucks. I was about to comment on Morphling in the top lane here. Didn't look like Skeeter is nearly as good of a Timbersaw as Mind Control. Some of these Timber Chains giving up to him with rather short range.
Glimpse on the GH who was trying to steal an outpost. That's not going to be allowed to happen. They'll hold on to the outpost to get the kill. Skitter gets credit for that one. He's sitting top of the net worth still, but only just behind is the Templar Assassin going Blink Dagger first, which is an interesting build for Borneo because it's usually the Deso first item almost, I would say, 80% of the time.
Yeah, again, people want to go that Deso first because it gives you all that extra farming speed. It gives you all that extra pushing speed. So I'm not sure how I feel about this Blink Dagger first as well. He might change his mind once he gets a little bit closer to it, but considering he can buy the first Mithril Hammer right now when he isn't, chance he just follows through with it.
Meanwhile, having the outpost over bottom allows aggressive mode to send Skitter down there to work on this 2-1 tower. GH makes the rotation. Also get a TP out from Weehaw to try and defend this, and now GH comes in. The duel is out onto the Clockwork, but this knight might not work out in his favor. He doesn't have any damage up to throw. So Spartan loses his life, as does Skylark. They'll look over for Skitter. GH, Miracle, and Weehaw are all here searching, and now they've got the hook shot because GH is level 6. So Morphling will be the third to fall in this trio of deaths.
Over there in the top lane, that just sticky napalm onto the Disruptor, dive him under tower, and there's, well, Timbersaw is Mr. Dive, especially in the early game, so no getting away from him.
mind control. I feel like he's been very comfortable up here.
Yeah, I mean, he's set up camp. He's here to stay, you know. 4 more years of mind control.
Man, he's just got to win that Iowa caucus. And he's up here in the top lane for 4 more years.
You love to see it.
Timber chain across the skitter. Will be TPing over towards top because they've got Bornea nearby. Kuroki getting hit by the meld strike. One more shot will get the kill. They've also got the glimpse on the mind control. That'll bring him all the way back in the kinetic field. Static Storm will lock him down for a moment. On top of that, they'll get the duel and they'll get the kill. And it's a double there for aggressive mode on a 5-man rotation towards top.
Yep, and they just beat me to it. I was going to say it's not really worth it for aggressive mode to commit all these heroes to the top lane, which they're going to need to do to bring down the Timbersaw at this point. He's almost always going to have these max 24 stacks of his reactive armor, anything under the creep wave in the tower. And to rotate all your heroes up there is to create space for the rest of them. If they can snag themselves a kill on Kuroki when they're up here as well, it just makes it a little bit more sweeter.
Oh, Skitter again getting caught in a really bad spot, trying to get out of these cocks as well as the battery assault. But there's just no way out of the hands of Nigma, and now it might even get worse. Spartan, he tries to glimpse mind control back, maybe just saving his team in death. As it's another 2 kills here for Nick, but still just a 1,000 net worth lead.
Yeah. He come to mind control so that he brings his team.
Ooh, shot connects onto Skylark. Static link once again. Cox push Skylark a little bit further away. The plasma field comes out. They don't have the damage. They don't want to dive onto the tier 2 tower, especially Weeha low on mana. GH on the run from Boraniha, and Heroes coming back up for aggressive mode.
Nigma deciding, all right, we're far enough up on the top lane. Let's rotate here to mid, maybe take the fight here. But it doesn't look like they want to give this up on aggressive, even though it is only a tier 1. Again, gives them a little bit more access to their jungle on the side of Nigma. Not ready to give that up. I do like how Nigma, I think they adapted faster than a lot of other teams in how they're playing the map once the shrines disappeared. They're not quite as willing to give up towers as a lot of other teams here.
H getting surrounded. 3 heroes bottom with the Skitter. That'll make it a 4th. They've got the duel out onto Weeha. The damage from Boraniha as well as Skitter coming in with a waveform. Another duel victory for Skylark. He's got himself 30 duel damage just 15 minutes into the game.
Boraniha proving us wrong here with the Blink Dagger Bell. Is always going to be in a decent position with these duels because of it. Maybe it's less about making this the Templar Assassin game, more about making it the Legion Commander game. It's when you see the Templar Assassin come out and get the Desolator first, she's always going to be the star of the show. But with a Morphling on your team, Legion Commander at 30 duel minutes, I feel like might be willing to take the back seat here. And this isn't just Blink Dagger first Legion Commander. You got Bracer, you got yourself Drums, you decided not to just be a walking duel. Walking, press the attack, D-spell. We're talking about.
So, do you even go Blink Dagger here? Like, is that your next item after Phase Drums, or do you have the, you know, so many ways to close the gap right now? And especially when your TA is going to get involved, having that Desolator, you have the slow from the traps that could be thrown out. You have the ability to make up the you know, space between you and whoever you're going on. Is it the Blink Dagger next for sure for Skylark, or would it be something different as he queues up the Blink Dagger, making this question sound stupider than it actually is?
Well, you can still ask things like that. Players don't always right away, well, they don't fully commit to the items that they queued up and shop. A lot of the time they do. But I do think Blink Dagger is one of those items that's nearly a must-have on the Legion Commander. Again, being able to gap that distance against the TPs on the backlines off the duel. But I just saw myself short here because I say Spartan disappears.
And he showed up to the wrong neighborhood, and everybody from Nigma was ready to go. That was just everybody was ready. He tried to glimpse. He said maybe I had a chance. And, well, yeah, hook shot into the face of this. There's no chance that you're getting away from that one. Now, Bornea, Meld Strike comes in. He needs to be careful. The impetus shots really do hurt, despite this being a a support enchantress.
And it took a lot of damage there from Bornesia as well. Thankfully, he had a lot of reactive armor charges. Otherwise, would have lost quite a bit more HP. Templar Assassin discount. No, this is something that I was used to seeing yesterday, but a little bit surprised of seeing on these European servers.
Yeah, a couple of teams getting bamboozled by their internet providers in the South American region.
Yeah, apparently there was the worst rain in 27 years in wherever Pain Gaming was.
Sao Paulo, I think, right?
They were playing out of. Active God not on their side for the Dota 2 qualifiers. He's pretty hard to play against, I hear. And
Mother Nature will do that.
one team out of Southeast Asia, I believe, disconnected and lost their spot.
I know Adroit and maybe IO had problems with their internet. Again, I just, you know, it's hard, when Dota mixes through the entire day and night, it's hard to just pinpoint everything that's happened, especially when I've just been traumatized by LGD failing to qualify for a close qualifier the second time in a row.
It is one of your favorite teams, right?
Ah, big Blaze fan over here. Don't know what you're talking about.
Forget LGD. Blaze is my new best friend, everybody.
They definitely played Mr. Steal Your B Cop as a big Blaze fan.
SSA Spartan. Trying to get control of his jungle again and his shrine for that.
Hook shot comes in, GH not allowing it. You killed me here one time once before, and now I'll take your life as revenge. A lot of revenge in these spots, and as you were saying, deja vu. Lasso came out for a second, but the press the attack was there. They'll get the 2 on a GH, and they'll grab the kill. So 1 for 1 so far. Mind control. Needing to get down these stairs in a hurry. Skylark also, by the way, 40 dual damage. He is really building up a resume.
He's going to be pretty happy about this. Again, he opted not to go Blade Dagger first, but he's getting these duels off regardless, just because of the good positioning of his teammates moving that damage out for him during the duels. I think one of the reasons for that is that this Templar Assassin always seemed to be random, always able to get on top of these targets right away because of this Blink Dagger card. Again, I do prefer the Desolator over the Blink Dagger as the first item, as far as speed or not, but this isn't going to be the Bora. I think I'm butchering the name, and Chad is going to laugh at me for it.
I don't know, I thought they were laughing at me, so, you know, I took a glance over. I was like, I guess I'm getting it wrong. We'll see.
We'll see. It's one of the two of us. We'll both stick by our guns. They can only laugh at one of us, right? Surely they're not cruel enough to get us both.
They might be, that's for sure.
But yeah, I really prefer the Desolator first build, but this isn't going to be the Templar Assassin show.
Although it feels like it could be, because he's picked up a Desolator and he's got the Impa. So I feel like TA definitely has opportunities to pop off. And now there is the Blink Dagger for the Legion Commander, so you have that opportunity to initiate with the Blink, get the Blink duel in there, Meld Strike it to follow it up, and all of a sudden it's gonna be a pain to fight against this aggressive mode roster.
Speaking of Templar Assassin, isn't she quite the hero that Clockwork can hookshot in, cogs her, she can get hit by a static field, and then get blink out?
Balance in all things.
Balance in all things. Refraction is a very good ability. Used to be back in the day, you could disable refraction by grabbing an Orb of Venom. Stop myself short here.
Under attack.
Martin going down once again. Wilkie getting credit for that kill though. Timber Chain across the bow of Lil, and now they'll give chase, but are popping the drums to give them some space.
Lil trying to add a Phantom Lancer to his army, aggressive mode. But I was just saying at time. Oh, I spoke a little bit too soon.
Oh, damn it!
Lil coming in, Borania getting the kill on a Karaoke. I was looking bottom for a split second. These kills are happening quick, and I am off the ball right now. But here's what I was talking about. Diffusal Blade coming out here for the Phantom Lancer, actually after the Manta style. Sometimes you'll see like an all-in on the Diffusal Blade first if you find yourself too far behind, but they're actually up 4,000 net worth. They've been afforded this kind of space, and now they'll go in on the Skylark. Double damage out on the Miracle. A lot of damage being done to the Legion Commander trying to run. Overwhelming odds, as well as the Static Storm and Kinetic Field locking in two. Somehow Skylark escapes, and now they look over Miracle. He's in a lot of trouble. The hook shot comes in from GH. Miracle still nearby, but not dead just yet, as he finally falls to Skitter. Borneo soon to follow. Two heroes gone on the side of aggressive mode. Skitter trying to run. Battery Assault doing work here as Mind Control moves forward. Timber Chain coming over, and Skitter morphing into the strength. Skylark also dead. Three heroes gone on the side of aggressive mode. They've got the glimpse. Can they get Mind Control out of the hair of Skitter? All right, well, the hair, the water of Skitter. Let's go with that. Wait for him into the trees, but still not out of the hands of Nigma just yet. And now he throws the E-Blade as well as the Adaptive Strike over to this Bat Rider, but it's not going to matter. They've got him surrounded. They'll get the kill. They'll take out a fourth. They will go over for a second at Spartan. Could make it a fifth. I think Kuroki was looking to go onto the high ground with the rest of his team, but they got glimpsed back, and now he'll actually end up losing his life instead.
4 to 5 heroes going down for aggressive mode. The tail end of that fight, it was actually Razor chasing down Legion Commander over to these trees over here, just trying to juke and drive around the trees, but unfortunately Razor way more movement speed than the Legion Commander. You're not able to get out of that and got off cool. Juking around in those trees there. But a beautiful fight taken out of Nigma. He did lose the Lancer, it's a carry, but I think they sort of expected to have things like this happen to their. Again, they opted to go the Manta style first instead of the Diffusal Blade, and one of those reasons is so that you have an easier time disengaging from aggressive mode.
Dire are scanning.
It definitely seemed like the beginning of that fight, especially once they lost the Phantom Lancer, was a spot for them to win the fight. Where exactly did that fall apart? Because Skylark, he's low in that fight early, but when you take out the Phantom Lancer, one, he had a double damage, and he did only over to Skylark. Like, where does that really start to fall apart for you for aggressive mode?
It was just the fact that you used so much to take down Miracle there. Again, he's gone a more tanky build right now.
Looked for a duel, didn't get the distance needed, but meanwhile over top, he'll take out the Templar Assassin. Miracle, he'll get himself a kill, and immediately they're TPing over to the outpost because they still want to fight this over towards mid. Weehawk goes in, and that may have been ill-advised right into the Static Storm, and E-Blade came through, so they didn't have the damage to get the dual victory, and Skitter just gets blown up by Mind Control. Weehawk ends up dead. They look over it. Skylark Timber Chainer across once again. One more shot to get the kill. It's actually the Battery Assault that'll do it. Trying to get out is Spartan, but he gets cleaned up by Miracle, and things are really starting to fall apart for aggressive mode.
Nigma just starting to come full force at them all over the map, and yeah, you can take down one of these heroes on the side, but they build these guys all so tanky. Again, I feel like one of the reasons they opted to go this Manta style on the Phantom instead of anything else is you can actually get out of the static field and the kinetic field, or static storm and kinetic field with the Manta style. You just Manta right through it. I know, balance in all things. Once he has the Aghaton, it's not as nearly as much of a problem, but you're tanky on him. The Razor, Heaven's Halberd first, gets that extra evasion, and he's able to shut down that Templar Assassin for a couple of seconds as well. It's just all these factors, they're making themselves harder to bring down. The longer you can sustain these fights, the Clockwork and Bat Rider on your team, you're gonna wear down the heroes on the rest. That's what's gonna happen. You haven't been able to fight. That's exactly what you want to fight with Templar Assassin. You want these fights to be very quick. You want to end them all within the first static storm. If you're not able to do that, then they can move out on top.
Ooh, force step forward from Spartan onto the low ground. The hook shot comes down from GH. Timber Chain out of the pit, and now they've left Roche to kind of heal up a little bit, but it's to maybe get a couple of kills here and secure the last couple of blows. They get the kill on the Spartan as well as Will over at Skylark, who seems to have given up on his life here, and well, he's dead as well. 3 heroes gone, now nothing to worry about.
So on top of that Roche kill, you get 3 kills on aggressive mode. You got to be pretty happy about that if you're Nigma.
Unfortunately, aggressive mode seemingly sticking to their namesake a little bit too much. Eber gets thrown at this Bat Rider, but they've got the last look at the kill. Skitter also dead. Right as they kill off Roche and they pick up the Aegis, they're also killing a Morphling. This is 11,000 in the favor of Nigma all of a sudden.
And let's just look at the gold charts and XP charts real quick. This is a very quick spike. This hasn't been a gradual change. Already, Dota Plus given a 92% win rate for Nigma.
Oh, Bornea might be in trouble. GH comes over. Technically, team wipe. They got the 3 kills over near the pit. Then they took out Skitter, followed up with a TA kill, and I'd consider that a full team wipe, losing absolutely nothing and gaining a second life.
You look at all these, he's playing so well right now. I think the only reason they're waiting right now is they're trying to get this card. I think it's just a little bit of wind right now.
Over a little shot comes in, and once again, Spartan is dead. He buys back immediately. BKB was popped by Weehaw going onto the high ground. They'll go after the tier 3 tower. Lil gets hit by the Phantom Lance, and well, let's see how well aggressive mode are able to defend, as they've lost the tier 3 and the base has been broken.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Right up to Rouse, now compete on the Phantom Lancer, bringing this guy down is going to be no small task. You still have the damage for it, but again, you're going to need to commit so much that I don't think you're going to be able to deal with the rest of the heroes on Nigma to bring him down. I'm not sure that there's much aggressive mode can do at the moment.
Is there anything they can do to save the game? They will for Spartan again. He just bought back a glimpse away miracle, but it still just seems like you're up against a rock and a hard place where you're now losing your second tier 3 tower and potentially your second set of racks if you don't make an aggressive move and try to defend your base.
I'm not sure if there's any aggressive moves they can make. Any moves forward just result in all of them dying. This Phantom Lancer, again, he's got 3,400 HP. They showed how hard Razor was to bring down. They lost like, what, 3 heroes last time they tried to go on him, and that was before he's got this BKB. They reached all these timings all of a sudden on Nigma, and before that he was losing team fights.
Got the lasso coming through on a Skitter. BKB's gonna be top tier by Weehaw. He's also got that clumsy net. They blocked him down long enough. Meanwhile, SSA Spartan will end up dead. He brought back earlier in this engagement, so that means he's gone for 63 seconds with no buyback. They'll look over at the mid center racks once again. 3v5, and yeah, you're damn right Nigma's gonna try and dive and finish it. The BKB's been popped by Bornea. Is it going to be enough to even get a kill on a Weehaw? It doesn't even look like it. And now he blinks forward. Middle strike comes in. He finally gets, but he left himself in a vulnerable position. Cogs come through. Lil's dead off camera. Mind Control gets the kill there. Bornea now needing to retreat, but he doesn't have a BKB to work with. And they're going to keep up with this Templar Assassin. GG will be called by aggressive mode. Nigma take game 1 just 28 minutes in, and it'll be capped by a full team wipe.
Feels like all of a sudden Nigma just showed up. They've reached their item timings. They decided, okay, now's the time to take the fight to the enemy team. And even though it was the Phantom Lancer who joined them, like his contribution, how hard he was to bring down for aggressive mode, I feel like that was the moment that they really slipped up and started